Welcome aboard. It's Captain G, Newblood 10.4, July 1941, Japan. The Emperor is very pleased that America got his message loud and clear. Like the European empires centuries before, Japan has proudly established the first of its new colonies in the Americas. Tech. Japan has three major factories. We are going to roll for amphibious doctrine at a 7+, the red die, jet fighters at an 8+, the black die, and large ship construction at an 8+, the white die. So the large ship construction and amphibious doctrine both are hit, and these are the first we're rolling of any of these technologies, so we'll move those up to phase 1. Amphibious doctrine, large ship. Okay, builds. Japan had cash on hand from last turn, 52 IPP, but we lost 5 to the Commonwealth for raiding, leaving us with 47. We're buying 2 battleships, 4 each, on now the second and third level of the production chart. We are completing 1 fleet carrier for 3, that's 11. We're doing a naval transport for 6, that's 17. 1 fighter for 10, that's 27. 2 Marines for 4 each, 8, that's 35. 2 infantry for 6, that's 41, and 3 militia, 2 each, that's 6, that's 47. No remainder at all. And as long as we have this special bonus, we get the free fortification on one of the 4 major island groups that we'll be able to place at the end of our turn. We're going to be placing it on Midway. We interpreted that with the American fleet here and here, they were out of supply, so this was open to us. Combat. Japan has 4 combats that we're going to do. From Honshu, this strategic bomber is moving into P-15-1, P-32-2, P-41-3. Call out the fire department, here we come. And in Tonkin 4 and Burma 5 to do carpet bombing on top of the Gurkhas. Second combat is in Shantung. The 6th Area Army from Hopei is moving up to Shantung to engage those 2 KMT infantry. The 6th Area Army consists of 4 artillery, 5 infantry, 2 cavalry, 1 motor rifle. The motor rifle is not participating in the attack and is staying back in Hopei. The third attack in Hunan are 2 infantry coming in from Siam, down from 2 Siamese infantry from Kwangtung coming down, joined by the fighter in Nanking, the fighter and the TAC bomber moving 1, 2 from Formosa. The naval transport at Guam in P-34 is picking up the infantry and moving 1, dropping them off into the battle as well. So that gives us 3 infantry altogether, 1 amphibious, 2 from the mountains, crossing a river. So we'll have to keep those separate. And then this task force in the Philippines, consisting of a heavy cruiser, a light cruiser, and a transport. The task force is moving down here, where they'll pick up that transport. And they'll take the 2 Marines off the Philippines. So 2 Marines and 1 infantry amphibious assaulting, and 2 infantry coming down from the mountains. The last attack is after the U.S. fleet. We have 2 coastal submarines in P-37 moving into the American fleet at P36. We also, in P25, have split that task force into 3 parts. So we're sending a new fleet task force to P36 to participate in this battle. This task force is 1 battle cruiser, 1 heavy cruiser, the attack bomber from the carrier traveling 1, 2, 3, 4. So the path for all of them, and the ships are supported by the major port in San Francisco. So the path is P30, P29, P37, and you end up in P36. So that is our path right through Hawaii's backyard. So a battle cruiser, a heavy cruiser, 1 tactical bomber, 4 destroyers, the 2 coastal submarines. From P43, the torpedo bomber, the torpedo boat destroyer, moving 1 into P45, 2 into the battle zone, P36. The attack bomber off the Marshall Islands, which has an airbase, moving 1, 2. The fighter on Honshu has an airbase, moving 1 P16, 2 P35, 3 P36. And all 3 aircraft, assuming they survive, will land on carriers in P37. That will be non-combat, the other force that's moving up. So we'll cover that in the non-combat phase. Good. I think that's everything from a combat standpoint. Okay, so let's start rolling. Let's roll the 3 dice at 2 for the strategic bomber trying to kill some Gurkhas in the jungle with this new napalm that we've discovered.
4, 5, 11.
Ah, it didn't work. All right, so none of that worked. And this is flying back to Hong Kong. I'll get a task force marker for what we're landing in Hong Kong. The next battle, and again, there's no river. I think we went through this last time. The river's on our side of the border. We go into Shantung. Against the 2 Chinese infantry, we have 4 artillery, 5 infantry, and 2 cavalry. So let's shoot the 4 artillery. This is first strike at 3.
1 hit.
1 hit. All right, so we got 1 of them. That leaves 1 left for the actual battle. All right, so we have 1 infantry at 2. 11, so that's a miss. 4 infantry at 3 plus 2 cavalry at 3, so a total of 6 threes.
1, 1, 6, 9, 12, 12.
Okay, so 2 hits. That is enough to kill the KMT. So the 1 infantry that could shoot back shoots back at a 4.
12.
Miss. Outstanding. So the KMT's marksmanship is just as good as their integrity when they break deals. Not that I'm bitter about that at all, Lancer Bolt. All right. So that is victory for Japan. Japan will go up 2 for Shantung, plus 1 in the bonus for Shantung, the Chinese bonus. The next one in Hunan. Now, we do have the 1 heavy cruiser firing a shore bombardment at a 2.
9.
Ooh, 9. Okay, so didn't count on that. We have coming ashore 3 ground units, 2 Marines and an infantry, so 3 2s.
9, 9, 8.
And then down from the mountains, crossing the river for this first round, 2 infantry at 1s.
8, 5.
Okay. Now this is where we count on hits. 2 fighters at 6.
10, 2.
All right. That's only 1 so far. and one tactical bomber at a 7.
4.
So 2 hits. So I'm just going to put a little dice here to represent 2, and I'll cash this chip out after. So the Chinese shoot back 4 at 4. The first hits have to hit the amphibious assault first. So hopefully we don't get more than 2. I see 1.
1, 3, 4.
That is exactly what we did not want. All right. So the 1 is absorbed by the Marine. The 3 is absorbed by the Marine. The 4 is double casualties. So that's this infantry. We're out of Marines. Double casualties means the Siam infantry is out as well. So we only got 2 of these guys. So they still have 2 infantry at a 4. I say let's kill them.
Yeah.
So we're pressing on. Now it's high risk. Very, very nervous now. Let's see. We have the 1 infantry who has now crossed the river. I'm wondering why he's all by himself. He is at a 2.
7.
All right. 2 fighters at 6.
8, 8.
Uh-oh. An attack bomber at 7. Let's hope for, come on.
3.
3. All right, so we got 1 hit. So this could go to another round. Let's hope that they miss both these. 2 Chinese shooting at 4.
1, 8.
All right, so that's it. That ends the battle. The last infantry dies. We have no ground units to take it. I'm not risking air to kill that infantry. So that's a failure. And the Emperor is very upset. Someone will have to commit ritual apologies. It's like apologizing to Darth Vader, but you do it yourself. Wow. I didn't expect it to go that way. Oh, well. All right, last battle. Let's hope this goes better. So, on this card are all the attacking forces. I'll turn it so you can see. And I'll put the American casualties. Last time we had talked battleships with Lancer Bolt, when we did the British, he said take hits on the battleships, then lose, which we would do as well, and that makes sense. So that's the order we'll take the casualties, although we're hoping to inflict all these in one round. We'll see how that goes. So he has no destroyers. So the 2 attacking coastal submarines shooting at 2s get first strike. If we get 1s, we can target, but first strike, no shot back.
10, 12.
All right, too much to ask. Torpedo boat destroyer is also shooting at a 2, I believe. Yes.
Well, the 2... yeah.
Yeah, the 2 subs fired first strike.
Mm-hmm.
So just the torpedo boat.
1.
Yeah, we couldn't get... All right, so that's 1 hit. So we'll take a damage on a battleship and we'll keep going. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 destroyers at 4. So let's hope that flotilla gets in close, fires their guns and torpedoes.
1, 9, 10, 12.
All right, so it's a second hit. We'll take a second hit on a battleship, so he still has 3 things firing back rather than losing anything. The heavy cruiser shoots at a 6, so we'll do it first, separate from... Well, no, I guess we can shoot that with the fighter, because they're both 6s, and the fighter gets no special. So 2 6s.
7, 1.
All right, so that's a third hit. So that would be on the heavy cruiser, which is sunk. Now we have the battle cruiser and the 2 tactical bombers. They have target select, but there's no difference. They're all 1-hit kills on the battleship. So 3 7s.
9, 1, 8.
Ooh. So it's which battleship do you want to kill, I guess. So one of the ships survives, sadly. All right. So now they return fire. The heavy cruiser shoots back at a 6.
8.
Ooh, good. And the 2 battleships shoot back at 8.
12-7.
All right, so we got one hit. You want to lose the torpedo boat or a sub?
Torpedo boat.
Okay. Next round. We have one damaged battleship versus the might of the Japanese Navy. All right, let's go with the 2 twos. No longer first strike.
1.
All right. So good job keeping one of the captain of this sub was very happy you didn't pick him for
the same
destruction.
number of hits as these fighters.
They did. Let's do overkill in case I messed something up. I don't think I did. 4 4s.
1 hit.
1 hit. Would have been nice to got these before. 2 6s.
1 hit.
1 hit. 3 7s.
3 hits.
Okay, so we hit the battleship Oklahoma many times. Oh, that was not planned. Sorry, guys. Multiple times on the way down to the bottom. All right. So that completes. We did this. Missed.
And he shoots back at a 6.
He does shoot back at a 6. Thank you, Edmund. I always forget that part.
2.
All right. So we'll get the captain of the sub that missed. It is always good to be ranked above your peers. All right. So that completes that battle, and it does provide Japan hegemony in the Pacific. We're thrilled. Non-combat. All right, so this fleet here, the 3 aircraft have at least 1 remaining because of long-range air. Even the fighter that moved 4 has a 5th move. And we are moving this task force, what's left of that force, 1, 2, 3, and stopping, because the battleship and transport can only move 2, but with the major port, they get that 3rd movement. And that task force that moved consisted of a fleet carrier, an escort carrier, 2 battleships, 1 light cruiser, and 1 transport, because we are leaving ships behind. So we want to make sure everyone's tracking that. We're going to land the aircraft on the deck. So we have 2 tactical bombers and a fighter on these 2 carriers. And P-37. Okay. I'll run through the task force one more time at the end. Don't let me forget that. Sometimes I say it and I forget. So what we left behind, we have 2 submarines in P-25. There is no submarine base, so they're limited to 3. They're going to go 1, 2, 3 to Midway, where we do have a sub base, and they will take up patrolling off this naval station. The 2 fighters will be repainted to Army colors, and they will land in San Francisco. Oh, the Marine that I just knocked over. So in San Francisco, I have the 2 Marines and 2 fighters. The 1 Marine in Southwest United States with that factory is going to move to San Francisco and join his fellow Marines. So we have 3 Marines and 2 fighters in San Francisco now. You can drop them in here. I used to chip. Thank you. 3 Marines and 2 fighters in San Francisco. We moved him up. The 2 heavy cruisers are going to go in port in San Francisco. There's a major port in San Francisco. So I'm going to make that port number 5. And what that does for us is if someone attacks the Japanese Pacific colony of San Francisco, those 2 heavy cruisers will send their crew in the form of militia to join the defense. So right now, that defense would be 3 Marines and 2 militia in a city, in a mountain zone, with 2 fighters. We're very proud of that. That's awesome. All right, other non-combat. So we're going to land these planes. We're going to land 1 fighter in Nanking, We're going to land one fighter in Hong Kong. We're going to land this tactical bomber in P-32 with that task force on top of this escort carrier that we built last time from P-15 that will move down and join the P-32 task force. So he'll become a naval. Okay. We're also going to rail the artillery from the Rehe factory down here to be with the motor infantry in Hopei. And this one infantry in Suyan will move up as well. And in Okinawa, this seaplane will fly to Hong Kong. All right. So in Rehe, light carrier, fighter, Okinawa, attack bomber. Okay. I think we did everything, right? Mm-hmm. So let me recap. I think just what's the forces on the cards, because I think those are the only ones that we need. So in Shantung, this task force, the 6th Area Army of China, 5 infantry, 4 artillery, and 2 cavalry in Shantung. In P-32, this task force consists of 1 heavy cruiser, 1 light cruiser, 2 transports, 1 escort carrier with a tactical bomber on it. The task force in P-36 off of Wake consists of a battle cruiser, a heavy cruiser, 4 destroyers, and 1 coastal submarine with the captain who's very accurate with his torpedoes. Thank you, Eggman. And then right next to it in P-37, we have a fleet carrier, an escort carrier, 2 battleships, a light cruiser, a transport, 2 tactical bombers, and 1 fighter. So that completes all of our non-combat movements. Let's place new units. In the factory in San Francisco, because we captured 2 factories which now are minor factories for Japan, and they have a clear supply route back to the home island, so we are allowed to build there. We're going to build a 3rd fighter in San Francisco. We're going to build an infantry in the Southwest United States. We're going to build a militia in Southwest United States. We're going to build a militia in San Francisco. We're going to build 1 militia in Nanking. So we're back to a militia and a fighter. We are going to place the carrier in P-15, Sea of Japan. The battleships just move forward on the production chart, so no placement yet. The transport will join the carrier in Sea of Japan at P-15. The infantry will be produced in Rehe, pick up their kit from the Manchukuo factory. The 2 Marines will join the other 2 Marines in Kyushu. And the fortification will be placed on Midway Island. So let me I think I went through all the stuff that moved, all the other major forces. Just to be clear, in the U.S., for my friends playing the game, Southwest U.S., I have 1 militia, 1 infantry. In the city of San Francisco, we have 1 militia, 3 Marines, 3 fighters, an import in San Francisco, 2 heavy cruisers, which we already talked about the militia that they would lend if someone was to attack that Japanese colony. Collect income. So Japan moved up 4 from the, well, I guess if you want to, might as well. We move to the income chart. Thank you, Steadicam operator. So from 41, we move to 45. That's 2 for Shantung, 2 for Hunan. We'll move the nationalists down to 1. We also add, so we'll get 45 cash on hand. Plus for bonuses, we have 2 for the Philippines. We have 5 for China and 2 for the islands. That's 7. So 7 and 2 is 9. So we will have 54.
I don't think the nationalists are at 1. We didn't take it.
We lost. Yeah, you're right. So let me correct that. You're right, Eggman. He's at 3 and we are at 43. Same as the Soviets. Because we failed in the attack of Shantung. So, with that correction, I'm glad we got it on camera instead of off. 43 for Japan, plus 2 for the Philippines, and we only had 5 for China, we said, and 2 for Midway and Wake. So 7 plus 2 is 9. So 52. 52 will be the cash on hand for Japan next round. And that completes the Japanese turn. This is Eggman and Captain G. Over and out.